go last, go quickly. So that's what I'm going to attempt to do. Every scholar knows the name W. B. Du Bois, but most do not know his literary work. Published in 1911, his first novel, Quest of the Silver Fleece, established this social scientist, this political activist, this quintessential race man as a man of the creative arts. Although, in my opinion, this novel is no tour de force, it demonstrates Du Bois's attempt through every genre possible to disseminate his ideology of black self-uplift and intellectual transformation. Quest of the Silver Fleece is arguably Du Bois's first and most profound socialist statement. In the novel, readers meet two young, erudite black youth. One, a young man named Bless, who comes from and represents a northern sensibility of racial uplift and education, and Zora, a southern-born slave who lives literally in the swamp and represents the raw beauty, talent, and essence of the heart of the Negro. Predictably, they fall in love. But this isn't what the novel is about. The novel centers on their combined attempt to change the economic condition of black people in America by investing in a crop of magical cotton, the silver fleece, which they hope will allow them entry into negotiating their own destinies. They plant this cotton in moist, rich swampland, and it grows as if divinely ordained. With its proceeds, they move north, only to realize that race limits them there just as it does in the South. But now they know the power of the combination of knowledge and hard work. And this, I believe, is Du Bois's message, that the social advancement of the Negro depends upon the eradication of ignorance and the concerted effort to combine resources and govern one's own economic state. Du Bois is definitely more committed to the perpetuation of this idea than he is to the mastery of the novel as an art form. Many, such as I, would argue that this is the failure of W. B. Du Bois as a literary man, that he is indeed too burdened with his own social and political agenda to take flight as a literary effort. But his merits are certainly not unrecognized. In several places, Du Bois constructs descriptive sentences that leaves one in awe. For example, writing about a nighttime sky, he says, quote, "Night fell. The red waters of the swamp grew sinister and sullen. The tall pines lost their slimness and stood in wide, blurred blotches all across the way, and a great shadowy bird arose, wheeled and melded, murmuring into the black-green sky," end quote. Yet again, by novel's end, one is keenly aware that Du Bois's true thrust is his desire for Negro economic empowerment. And he does not intend for us to do it by simply exploiting others the way whites have gained their agency. He says, quote, "Shall we try the old paths of individual exploitation, develop a class of rich and grasping brigands of industry, use them to exploit the mass of black laboring people, and reproduce in our own group all the industrial hell of old Europe and America? No! If we American Negroes are keen and intelligent, we can evolve a new and efficient industrial cooperation quicker than any other group of people, for the simple reason that our inequalities of wealth are small, our group loyalty is growing stronger and stronger, and the necessity for a change in our industrial life is becoming imperative," end quote. More than anything, Du Bois' desire for Negroes to believe in themselves and to construct their communities with their own interests as blueprint, and he had no doubt that it could be done. The legacy of Du Bois is not to praise Du Bois, but to discover Du Bois in our own students. Just as he was arrogant and self-righteous, but indubitably brilliant and insightful, so must we be able to see brilliance beyond sagging pants and overly exposed cleavage. The gifts of Du Bois are born again and again in our own, right here at CAU. Yet often the crime of the faculty member is that we keep looking for the return of the past instead of trying to discover what a new Du Bois might look like. As long as we stand together, Du Bois implies, and believe in our own collective agency, we will transform not only ourselves but the entire world. Why? Because no one has endured the trials and tribulations of the African. Hence, no one is in a position to free the world except those who know all of its oppressions. And ultimately, freeing the world is what Du Bois hopes will be the fruit of black existence. He would soon join the Socialist Party of America with hopes that a new governing ideology would birth a new world order and alleviate oppressions. Yet what Du Bois discovered was another manifestation of white supremacy cloaked as utilitarianism. So he leaves the party. However, Du Bois never lost faith in the creative genius of his own people. He's waiting, I argue, even now, for us to catch up with his vision and see that together we are the universe made perfect. With Quest of the Silver Fleece, Du Bois introduces, quote, an embryonic plan for implementing socialism in the United States, and particularly a plan for black communities to exercise agency rather than waiting for a revolution led by whites, end quote. That revolution is long overdue. The soldiers are among us. The brain power is here. We are alive and we are well, but at times we are blinded, deluded by what our students sometimes look and sound like. I've come simply today to remind you that the eagle looks like a regular bird until inspired by a great master to fly.